Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back for another Walking Dead video. Today we got another teaser for Daryl Dixon Season 2, which is premiering this Sunday. The wait is finally almost over for us to dive back into the Walking Dead world, even though right now we only have Daryl Dixon and Dead City, and so things are feeling kind of light as far as the Walking Dead world is concerned. No news on any spin-offs, but we do have New York Comic Con coming up here soon. Hopefully we get some sort of news or some sort of update regarding our existing spin-offs, any news about Rick and Michonne, anything like that. But for now, we do have Daryl Dixon coming up this weekend for its Season 2 return. And as I mentioned, we do have another teaser, so we're going to break it down a little bit, talk about some images from it, and just further build up the hype and excitement as much as possible, because as I mentioned, things are very light and limited right now as far as this world is concerned. So there's not really as much hype and excitement built up around all of this as much as it used to be. Things are just, there's not a whole lot going on in this world. We have these characters that we've had for several years now, some from the very beginning, and they just keep kind of coming back with different stories that are somewhat fresh, somewhat, nice to see and everything. But to me anyways, it feels like a lot of the same. And as much as I love these shows, I kind of wish they would come up with something new and give us something to be excited about again, because the last thing we were excited about was The Ones Who Live. And of course, that didn't end the best way. We really hoped it would have given us something more to go on, more reunions or what have you. But anyways, enough with all the negativity. We're going to jump into the teaser for Daryl Dixon. We have just another 15-second teaser, nothing really to work with, not a ton of new footage, but this first image, we see Daryl, he's in this car. And we've seen this car pop up in multiple teasers where we get the aerial shots of the car completely surrounded by walkers, and we see Daryl pop up to that sunroof and shoot one of them with one of those darts that we can assume turns it into a super walker and will randomly start killing all the other walkers around it, because we saw at the end of last season where the super walkers are pretty unstable, where they don't really lock onto targets as well as they would have hoped when they were developing them, and so they will just go after anything that moves. And in that case, we saw it go after just regular other walkers, which kind of screwed up their plans, but was hilarious in turn. And I think that's what we're going to get in this particular scene, because we see also in that same kind of setup where Carol's in that car with him, so we can assume that they will find each other probably by the end of the first episode. Honestly, I think we've seen probably the first half hour of that episode. And I have some new information I want to talk about too, that I came across an article talking about people that have gotten early access and whatnot. But getting back to this, we see in that scene where heads almost look like they're popping outside of that car. And I think it's after Daryl shoots the walker goes nuts and starts killing all the other walkers. So we're probably in for something pretty exciting and maybe a little bit different, so it should be fun. But this next one, another scene that we've come across in teasers multiple times at this point. This is during the ambush scene of Madame Janae and Daryl, and we see where he shoots at the car until it flips. So nothing really new there. Then we get kind of an overhead shot of Carol. We've seen this too, but we got some new text there or whatever to build up the excitement that we're down to the final week before this premieres. Then another little quick scene of Carol in that trading post or whatever, where she tracks the people down that have something to do with Daryl and him going missing. She says, "You don't want to mess with me," which is fun. So I'm really excited to see who really kind of tries to mess with Carol or tries to underestimate what she's capable of, because I think we're going to get that in a couple different things. And this is one of those things. This is the next image from that teaser where we see Carol. I don't know if this dude's a walker or just some regular guy, because we do see some other people in the background, but taking a knee to his chest or his junk or something. But she is taking out this dude. Then we got a shot of Daryl here. This is in that tunnel. I want to believe that's where this takes place, where he's taking out these walkers and they're making their way to get out of France, more than likely. And then we get this shot of this dude on this motorcycle. We can't really see his face. It's really covered pretty well. Don't know anything about this. Probably some random bandit, I would assume. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. Then we get a shot of Carol here shooting up stuff. We got walkers in the background. Not real sure about this one yet, but this should be exciting too. This is probably maybe with Daryl or shortly before she finds him. She's going to different places trying to track down information, trying to get any clue of where he could be. And then this tagline, the fight to reunite, which is kind of funny because the way things kind of worked out for this series, where Carol was supposed to be in the first season and now she's coming up in the second one, and the things that they're going to have to go through to get back to each other and whatnot. So again, not a long teaser, just something to hold us over until this weekend, basically. But the little bit of news that I wanted to share that I found in an article, and I may do a separate video about this, but just kind of to give you guys an idea. There is an article out there where I've read where, of course, people have had early access to the whole season, or at least most of it. And sad to say that it's not getting the best reviews. But one of the other pieces of information I wanted to share, it kind of lends itself to the whole thing where we saw Carol having flashbacks or whatever of Sophia coming out of that barn. And I think it might kind of work out because when she comes across Ash, he is also, I think, suffering from the loss of a child. And they might bond over this, and maybe this is where she walks onto his farm or whatever he's in, and maybe a child walker stumbles out of that barn, and that kind of just shoots her back to that moment where it happened with her and Sophia. So we've got Carol and Ash really bonding over a similar situation. I think there's a lot of different directions they could take it as far as how they come to this bond and what sends her back to that moment where she has that flashback and whatever. So I'm very excited to see how their friendship develops. Hopefully it lasts past an episode or two before they kill him off, but I just don't have high hopes for it. I think they're going to do away with him very quickly. He's going to serve his purpose, and then he's going to be fucking killed for some goddamn reason. But I'm really excited that they're introducing new characters, but I'm not excited at the prospect that they will be just snuffed out very quickly. I think that's something that's just kind of hurts the show more than anything, and there's a lot more to this article that I think I'm going to do a separate video about, just talking about the season as a whole, talking about characters existing and new. So anyways, guys, be on the lookout for that video. But if you enjoyed my little breakdown, kind of my little side notes about what's going on, please leave a like, leave a comment, of course, subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers, and it would mean the world to me. So until next time, take care. Bye.